All right, guys, thank you for joining me this morning. Appreciate it as always. Loretta, thank you for the 5 by 5. Appreciate it. Loretta, thank you for the 5 by 5. And yeah, thank you for the 5 by 5. Appreciate it, guys. Krista, Occurs, Narsa, Vision, thank you for the 5 by 5. Coffee, Gorgio, Dobie, thank you for the 5 by 5. Yes, I am screwed over here in New York City. Love my babies, thank you for the 5 by 5. Flown Grown, Sarita, Secondhand, F you all, Cobalt, Buffalo, Keith, Dog Walker, Allen, thank you for the 5 by 5. Anonymous, Moose, thank you for the 5 by 5. Tristan, Susan, Vegan, Kenneth, Colleen, thank you for 5 by 5. Is that Guy? Right? Yeah, I got rid of it. Thank you for the 5 by 5. Disney, CN, thank you for the 5 by 5. Diane, thank you for the 5 by 5. And, all right. Thank you for the 5 by 5, guys. Appreciate it. Yeah, I sort of messed up today. I had a interview with Tradcat Knight at 10 o'clock, and then I had my videos, and then I pushed this to 11:30. I didn't know Bear had his live now, so I do apologize for that. But a lot of the information today is just going to be stuff, again, that happens around the country or around the world that we haven't heard of. There are a lot of cases, guys, that are. There are a lot of violence, especially on family members, that are going on around the world. But here in the United States, it's at an all-time high. I've never seen such violence. But anyway, some of these cases we're going to talk about. Some of these cases I'm not going to mention, or I might mention them, but I won't dive into details because they are pretty bad. Though this one I am going to talk about is pretty bad. But what I am noticing, guys, is a pattern. And the pattern is it's seemingly the same type of people. They seem to be, they have a look in their eyes, and I can't explain the look. I can explain the look. It's a look of void. It seems like there's no feeling behind it, no sorrow, no anything. Now, a lot of the times when I've seen people do these violent acts, there was a kind of a void there that you could see, or sorrow, or I'm sorry, or whatever it was. I'm not seeing that, and I'm not seeing it anymore. So I don't know what's going on. I mean, I have my own theory as to what's going on, but it's just bad. Anyway, quick update: New York City Mayor, what's his name? Mamdani. He won New York City Mayor, so New York City's toast for the most part. A lot of people are angry. What's her name? Deborah Messing from Will and Grace. She made a comment calling him a communist jihadist or a jihadist terrorist, something in that regards. And she's getting her balls broken. I was a little surprised that came out of her mouth, out of all people. Tris, vaccinated people on psychotropic meds. Tristan, in progress. Yes, the problem with the psychotropic meds is that it makes matters worse. So for whatever nonsense is going on in their heads, it's definitely it amplifies whatever they take. It amplifies it. There are things that are being done, guys, to kids that I it's beyond evil. I don't know if this evil thing is breaking out or the the arm ticket was a way to unleash evil in people. I don't know, and I know how ridiculous that sounds, but something is wrong. Coffee first. I don't know if I would say it was fixed. New Yorkers, for the most part, are stupid. They're retarded. They all passed. They all failed, or rather passed a retard test, right? Because they picked a retard, and it's just bad. I've never seen such fuckery in my life, other than the Biden, presidential race. This was insane, and the fact, guys, that Mamdani has been caught in two lies. He had illegal donations donated to him, and he was caught. Oh, and Soros, excuse me, was backing him. All of this, and I'm like, he still won. retarded, right? They passed the retard test. So now officially everybody who voted for him, and the crazy shit, those videos of people like, yeah, and then one lady was crying and she was like, I'm so glad that he won. I'm like, what? He, whatever. So New York is toast. And people like, oh, listen, not for nothing, guys. Everybody, who's texting me or emailing me or in the comment section, they're like, oh, sorry for what's happening to me. Listen, man, we didn't die. I mean, not yet, but people acting like I lost a loved one. Sorry for your loss. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, did somebody else in my family member die? I don't know what the fuck's going on. I'm like, yes, we get it. He's mayor. He's gonna torch this town. And the thing that I don't understand, that people don't understand because they're retarded, is that they voted for a guy who's gonna usher in more Muslims. This guy has zero political background. This is what I call the Trump effect. Right? The Trump effect was Trump ran for president, who had no business running for president, though his first term he was pretty good. His second term, very, very questionable, if not, he's not the guy we voted for. Nonetheless, people are tired of it, right? So they picked that guy in PA. What the hell? The Frankenstein-looking dude, right? That never gets dressed up or never wears a suit and tie. That was another guy, right? He had no political backings. He had no political experience. And then here he is. He won whatever the hell he won in PA. And then you have Mamdani. Mamdani had no business being the mayor of New York City. He had no business running. This guy had no real job ever. He just screamed and yelled, talked about, how unfair things are. He said that Muslims are treated unfairly in New York City. I go, where? Where the hell are Muslims being treated unfairly in New York City? I never heard of such fuckery in my life. I never heard of such nonsense. Featherman, thank you. Featherman in PA, right? So anyway, all of that, guys, to say is that, yeah, New York City's toast. This guy was definitely bought and paid for. Now, we did the math in the firehouse because, guys in the firehouse, guys were behaving like we lost a loved one. But even if Sliwa backed out of the race, which, fuck Sliwa, because he could have stepped out of the race and made it such a tight race there would have had to been a recount. Slee was an asshole. Fuck him. He wasn't for the city at all. He had, I think, 13% of the votes in this mayoral race. 13%. Dude, if you're not breaking 20, kick rocks, man. Kick rocks. Like, enough already, right? And he's like, he's running because someone said, well, he bowed out last time. Who cares? Sleewood had some great points. Sleewood had some great policies. But because the moron couldn't grow up and let go of his stupid Ray Beret earlier and straighten his act up so he was taken more seriously, that's what cost him the race both times or 3 times he ran or whatever it was. It cost him the race each time because people looked at him as an imbecile. And this imbecile who wouldn't let go of his stupid fucking beret. So now he steps into the arena. This time, he straightens up. He wears a suit and tie. He takes his beret off. And now it's a little too late. He should have stepped out of the race, bottom line. But his stupid fucking ego cost New York City everything. Because Mamdani's going to cost the city everything. Now, guys are worried about their pensions and all kinds of shit because he's a communist, right? He's an actual socialist. What do they call him? A democratic socialist. He's going to cost the city everything. And that was also because of Slee won his bullshit. Anyway. Trump endorsing Cuomo hurt. You know what's funny? You would have thought he would have, at the very least, it doesn't matter who Trump endorsed, they were screwed. And I don't think it would have helped at all either. I really doubt it would have helped. But here we are. We have to see now, after January, what happens. Now, we're definitely going to see an influx of Muslims and fucking flying carpets and shit like that here in New York City because all the Arabians are going to come here and do their Arabian dance. So we got to deal with that bullshit. We have the loudspeaker. Someone mentioned it earlier. We're going to have the loudspeaker, the hello, walk by, that bullshit. We got to listen to that nonsense. Listen, New York right now can't win. We either have the tiny hats and their bullshit or we have the fucking, the sand people and their bullshit. We can't win. We're stuck between a rock and a hard place, man. Um, and this is where we are. I just can't. We can't win right now. You know, it's one or the other. Uh, Troll country. Listen, I've been in the works of seeing where I'm gonna move. I can't move anywhere unless I retire. I looked at a bunch of areas around New York City where I can, at the very least, like afford rent, and I can't. I can't. So I don't know unless I retire and leave. That's my only option is to retire like tomorrow and then bounce. That'd be my and I still have 2 to 3 years to go. Right? Is it 2 to 3 years? I'm sorry. Wait, 2 to 4 years before I leave. So I don't know what to do. My rent for right now is 1,800. 1,800 for 3 bedrooms. Right? I move anywhere else, and I'd be paying $2,000 for a studio in a shit neighborhood in Connecticut. That's what I found. $2,000 studio apartment, and I was even looking at it, and I was like, I was contemplating it. Even with this guy coming in there, I'm contemplating it. But with all my shit, I'm like, I gotta consolidate. So I definitely. I have another option that I'm entertaining it, and I'll let you guys know when I pull that trigger. But that option is not fun. It's not a fun option. But I might have to do that for a few months just to get out of the city. But we shall see. Yeah, I'm not. Every time I tell people that option, they're like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I go, "If it gets that bad here, yeah." But I also have my kids here, so I can't leave and then leave my kids behind, too. So, don't move to CT. I don't want to move to CT, but that's not the option either. That wasn't an option on the table. My other option is not a. It's not a. I mean, I could deal with it for a couple months, but I couldn't deal with it for longer than that. We can. Someone said live in CT. We could be neighbors. CT sucks. Yeah, but CT's better than New York City at this point. Anything is better than New York City at this point. And listen, there's a small, tiny, that will have me think that maybe he won't screw the city up that badly. The only thing I agreed with him on, the only thing is they were asking him, where would you go after you won the mayoral race? And everybody said, oh, I would fly to Israel. Why the fuck was that the first answer out of everybody's mouth? But he was like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to stay in New York City. He's not going to stay in New York City. He's going to fly to fucking Afghanistan or some shit. Or Mecca or whatever it is and pray to that wall. Yo, we can't win here. We can't. The Tiny Hats and the Sand people are battling it out for fucking supremacy here in New York City. Yo, and the reason why this was a historical win, on top of that, the Jews and the AIPAC money and the amount of money that was thrown at this race to make sure Mamdani wouldn't win didn't work. That was the problem. The Hasids who said we're not voting for Mamdani, we're voting for Cuomo, still couldn't win. That is bad. That's the worst part about this whole thing. Is this guy, he promised. Here was the other issue. He promised things that he couldn't. Mamdani promised things that he cannot get done because it's at a state legislation level or a private company level. He doesn't have influence on the MTA. He was making all these promises about free buses. The only thing he could actually come through with is the supermarket bullshit. That's the only thing that he can have effect on. Maybe a couple other things, but he didn't mention. Listen, if he would have been like, "Listen, we're going to get a congestion pricing," I'd have been like, "All right, you piqued my interest." Not that I'm voting for you anyway. You piqued my interest, But whatever. I don't think I don't think it's going to get that bad, though. The prostitution, they're going to be hookers throwing their vagina juice around everywhere. That's going to look like a shit show. That I'm not happy about. Like, listen, hookers and whores, they have their place in New York City. It's a nice little area called Hunts Point. Stay there. Leave it there. But no, he wants that so that's everywhere. So chicks are throwing their fucking panties at you to get you to. They're roping you in with your panties. And you're walking down the street, right? I mean, it's gonna get bad. They're talking about magic mushrooms now. Oh my god, we have a drug problem that's super bad here, and doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The Air Force and their gay spray. Michael Martin, no, I did not hear about it, but I wouldn't be surprised. Now there's 10 people dead. Out of the UPS plane that crashed. I said, what is it, 3 people on it at best? Now it's 10 people. They must have hit like a building or something. I don't know. I saw where they crashed. It looked like they hit a field, but I don't know what else it was. But yeah, listen, guys, there's a lot going on. People are like, you need to leave the Charlie Kirk stuff alone. I'm not gonna leave the Charlie Kirk shit alone. A couple of people like, oh, just let it go already. Why do I have to let that go? I find it interesting that people want you to let the Charlie Kirk shit go, but let's talk about all the other. And listen, granted, everything I talk about is not going to change. The more I bring up Charlie Kirk, is just keeping us focused on the fact that this was a ruse. Again, Erica Kirk, full of shit. How do you forgive a guy? This is how it dawned on me today. Today it dawned on me with Erica Kirk and her bullshit, by the way, switching gears. She forgave a guy who hasn't even been convicted of killing her husband. A guy that's still speculation, or rather, he's still a suspect. There is nothing that says he did it. Nothing. The videos are too far away. You can't identify his face. They're pixelated as shit. And yet she sat on stage and said, I forgive you, Tyler Robbins. You don't even know if he did it or not. You don't even know if there were other players involved. But yet she went out and made that speech about, yo, this whole thing is a ruse. All of it. I think we're just in a show, man. That's all it is. We're in one giant fucking show. And we just got to bear with it until we fucking hit the grave or whatever it is we hit. Toyota recall. Anyway, today's stream, so I gave you the update. So Mamdani won the 2025 New York City mayoral election, defeating former Governor Andrew Cuomo and Republican Curtis Sliwa. Mamdani will be the city's first Muslim mayor, which, again, guys, a Muslim mayor is bad. Why? Because he's going to usher in more Muslims in the city, which will always lock in a Muslim mayor after that. Look what happened in London, right? And he's the youngest mayor in over a century. He will take office January 1st of 2026. Now, the youngest mayor of New York City before him was Hugh J. Grant, who was inaugurated at the age of 31 in 1889. He served the city until 1892. He was the youngest mayor, and I think Mamdani is in there as well. I don't even know how old Mamdani is. Anyway, quick snap update. So Trump was ordered by 2 judges to pay because they thought he did something illegal. Then Trump said, okay, I'm going to pay. And then 24 hours later, he said, yeah, I'm not paying that. I was like, what is going on? How does the judge tell you got to pay? And then he goes, all right, I'm going to pay. And I'm not going to pay. Fuck those people. I never heard such fuckery. But anyway, the White House clarified Tuesday that Trump administration is going to comply with a federal court order that requires it to tap into the contingency fund to provide food benefits to tens of millions of Americans after Trump said that the aid from the SNAP program will go out only when Democrats end the ongoing government shutdown. But then he turned around after this article and said he's not going to pay it, and then stated that the only time he'll pay it is when the government shutdown ends, and that is up to the Democrats. So now he put the ball back in the Democrats' lap, if you will, or court, excuse me. He put the ball back in their court. So now the Democrats, and he put them in a spot, which was tactically smart, if you ask me, because he's like, yo, you want this to end? You guys end this. And that was it. He walked away. So that was a pretty telling move. But listen, guys, both sides want no interest in reopening the government. Both sides. Listen, I think the government's going to reopen. A lot of people are thinking that it's not going to. I think maybe after the New Year, some people are saying maybe in December it'll open up. But for the rest of this month, they're screwed. We shall see. So again, he said he'll tap in the contingency plan. He says we'll go out only when the Democrats reopen. Anyway, the reassurance from the White House came after the president wrote in a post on Truth Social that SNAP benefits will be given only when radical left Democrats open the government up, which can easily be done and not before that. Trump's comment raised question as to whether the administration would abide by a Rhode Island judge's order to use reserve funds to issue federal food benefits to Americans enrolled in the SNAP program. Administration lawyers told the court Monday that it would tap into the contingency pot to issue reduced food stamp payments for November. The Justice Department said in a filing that the Department of Agriculture would provide states with information necessary for calculating the benefits due to each eligible household, which would allow the states to then begin disbursement. Now, the problem too, guys, a lot of people are saying, at least what I'm reading, a lot of people are also saying that if they stop paying migrants, that they'll have more money. That might be true. But if I looked into it, migrants weren't the problem. I hate to say this. As much as I was looking to blame them, they're not the problem. Right? The problem is the United States government and their bullshit. The problem is the United States government and allowing migrants to come here. The problem is the United States government not sitting down and coming together because people are going to run out of food or money. Now, I went to a supermarket yesterday and today to pick up my special steaks. And people were rolling in and out of there with no problem. Right? People rolling in and out of there with no problem. So, obviously, people still had money on their cards, and they were still using them. So we shall see what this looks like. That's why there was one lady. It made sense now when one lady on TikTok was stating, "Oh, come the 7th or the 9th of November, we're gonna get together at a Walmart parking lot and raid Walmart." And that's why when she gave those dates, I'm like, "Why so many days in?" Now it makes sense. Some people probably still have money. Some people don't get recharged until the 7th, 9th, or the 15th. Some people also saying the 21st of the month, right? Because it's twice a month that we get recharged. Again, depends on the state you live in. Keith, yes, the ribeye steaks. Yo, that's the best ribeye. I don't want to get into it. It's just one of the best ribeye steaks in it. So that's the SNAP benefit update. Right now, nothing is happening until the Democrats stop their bullshit. All right. So we're going to get into something a little darker. If you're not into this kind of news, do me a favor, switch off of it. But this offing of a 2-month-old was pretty bad, right? And it was pretty bad because the pictures of the parents, the father looked like he was distraught. The mother looked like so what in her mugshot, if you will. So a parent of a 2-month-old girl were accused of offing her and subjecting their child to unimaginable abuse. Kaylee, white trashy name, Fontenot, and Taylor, Broussard, were both taken into custody in somebody's asshole in Louisiana after their daughter was found not breathing. Broussard he ran away from the cops basically. Broussard, who's the Taylor, the guy, the father, if you will, remained at large for several days before police said he turned himself in. 2 Louisiana parents are in custody after they are accused of offering their 2-month-old infant. This place is Opelousas. Police Department said it arrested the mother of the infant after the 2-month-old girl was found not breathing on October 25th. The infant was taken to the hospital and later pronounced not here. Police said the girl suffered serious injuries, including, get this, broken rib bones, either they punched her, and a severed lower spine, while also showing signs of extreme dehydration and malnourishment. Investigators said they determined that the infant's parents, Kaylee and Taylor, had exclusive custody of the child since her birth. Police obtained an arrest warrant for both the parents, charged of first-degree murder, cruelty to juvenile, and second-degree battery. I feel I don't understand law when it comes to charges. I have to say that much. But once you charge somebody with like first degree murder, does anything else matter? Cruelty to juveniles and second degree battery. I guess that just adds more time to their case, I guess. But like once you are responsible for killing a child, that should be automatic life. Everything else, like all these other charges, shouldn't matter. But again, that's me. So again, guys, this is why I said the statement I made earlier about. This is why I made the statement earlier about people and the things that are going on and the look in these people's eyes. It's pure evil. If you can do this to a child, this is pure evil. I've never seen so many cases of parents offing their child or people doing evil things to kids. It seems like, guys, evil is winning. And because there's so much of it, so many people are doing these heinous crimes, if you will. Okay. All right, so if somebody forget it. It's not even for me. So anyway, I could only imagine where that's going. All right, so a lot of you heard about the accident at Harvard Medical School. It was an explosion of some kind. They said 2 people were running away. Well, these 2 idiots decided they were going to light fireworks inside of a lab, and it hit something explosive, probably a chemical, some kind that exploded, and they were both charged with fucking some bullshit. I'll get to what they were charged with, but there were students there. Anyway, 2 men charged after allegedly igniting commercial fireworks in a Harvard Medical School, causing an explosion. 2 men were arrested and now face federal charges after allegedly setting off commercial fireworks inside of a Harvard Medical School, causing a reaction. Logan Patterson, 18, and Dominique Cardoza, 20, were the suspects. The pair allegedly caused the chaos during a Halloween weekend in between partying with friends. 2 men have been arrested after authorities said they took intentional steps to cause a reaction at the Harvard Medical School. U.S. Attorney Office in the District of Massachusetts identified Logan Patterson of Bourne, I don't know what the hell that means, 18, and Dominique Cardoza, of Bourne, Massachusetts, 18, and Dominique Cardoza, 20, of Plymouth, Massachusetts, as suspects of the November 4th incident. The alleged detonation, a large commercial firework to ignite an explosion at the Goldstone building around 2:25 a.m. local time, and these 2 idiots were on footage running away. They tracked them down in no time with all the cameras they have in the colleges. Anyway, needless to say, they're going to get expelled from school. They're definitely getting kicked out, so that should be fun. Their parents are going to be really proud of them. And they made it a federal case. So there's that. Sometimes, listen, and it was a Halloween weekend, so they were probably doing some stupid initiation shit, which I'm pretty sure they kept their mouths shut on. But I can guarantee you it had something to do with that. Now, I'm going to talk about this later tonight, or no, probably Friday night when I get more information on it. But a potential terror attack was foiled in Michigan, and it was foiled in Dearborn, Michigan, out of all places. Supposedly, these kids were gamers. They were ranging from the age of 21 to a minor. They wouldn't release his But I found interesting, guys, that there was not much mentioning of this incident or this foiled terror attack. Now, why wasn't the media talking about it? Well, they probably weren't talking about it because it didn't fit the narrative of American white males. Instead, they were sand people, if you will, and they were kids. Kids, again, ranging from 21 to a minor. But one person in that case. One, I found it to be very, very odd that this guy in this case, if I'm not mistaken, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I didn't update it. But one person in this case that got caught, if you will, he has complete identity protection. Not the minor. The minor has identity protection and blockage. This guy, it was a man, from what I read, he has identity protection as well. Why is that? So that was another red flag in the case. Now the amount of ammo they had was 1,600. There were 3 rifles, a tactical vest, a GoPro camera, no devices of any kind, no incendiary devices of any kind. So there's that. But I'm going to talk more in detail about it Friday because there's a lot of red flags with this case. And the fact that they didn't, like I said, bring it up, and it happened in Dearborn. There are 2 ways of looking at this case that unfolded in Dearborn. So, again, Friday we'll talk about it. Tonight's Angry Prepper video, or rather live stream, we're going to talk about how far is this SNAP thing going to go and how this is going to affect more Americans than you think. This is not just, guys, a SNAP benefit poor people problem. This is going to affect you and I on other levels as well. So hopefully you guys tune in later tonight to that. But other than that, I think we're... Dude, that was fucking weird. I think we're done. Oh, also, I found this to be a little weird, but supposedly 6 people passed away, 25 people hospitalized for listeria outbreak linked to prepared pasta meal. 6 people have been confirmed dead, and 25 others are being hospitalized due to a listeria outbreak linked to a pre-cooked pasta meal sold at Trader Joe's and other major stores across the country. Let me get you guys which pasta meal that was, because for some reason I didn't. Oh, I never heard of this stuff. Oh, it's Trader Joe's Cajun style blackened chicken breast fettuccine Alfredo. It serves you right to eat any garbage. Like, what is that? Has anybody ever heard of Cajun style blackened chicken breast fettuccine Alfredo? Serves your ass right. Not to pass away, but to get sick. Who eats that shit? That's garbage, man. And then there was a Trader Joe linguine meal. Frozen. Whatever, dude. But anyway, 6 people, guys, passing away from this. That's rare and this fast, actually. The outbreak started in June. 6 people dying from this. Normally you don't get 6 people. You get like 1 or 2. 6? All right, so what foods were affected? Fresh Rome's House Chef Chicken Fettuccine Alfredo. What is it, these people in fucking Fettuccine Alfredo? Fresh Rome's Market Side Grilled Chicken Alfredo with fettuccine. They must hate the Italians, because I never heard of such shit. Fresh Rome's Market Side Linguine Meatball, Beef Meatball, and Marinara Sauce. Albertson Company Store-Made Deli Pasta Salad. Trader Joe's Cajun Style Blackened Chicken Breast Fettuccine Alfredo. It's fucking gross, dude. Let's see. Denver Foods Group Scott John's Shrimp Scampi with linguine bowls. Why is this all... And this is listeria from a company that made it called Nate's Fine Food. So I guess all of this stuff was made at their facility and whatever. Kroger's Deli's Bow Tie and Penny Pasta Salad. Giant Eagle Smoked Mozzarella Pasta Salad. And Sprout Farm Market's Smoked Mozzarella Pasta Salad. God, this is gross shit. It's gross, man. Whatever. Don't eat this shit. That's it in a nutshell. So, guys, there has been a lot of recalls on a lot of food. I think this is where making your own food, growing your own food, preparing your own pasta, because you can make your own pasta now, this is where it's going to matter. Because apparently, eating all of this garbage is getting everyone sick and killing them. Case in point, 6 people dead from listeria from pasta you're not supposed to eat anyway. Who on God's green earth eats blackened chicken breast fettuccine Alfredo? This is right up there with fucking Spam and all the other garbage that goes along with it. Anyway, that being said, guys, I'm going to go off the air now. I got a lot of research to do for a lot of videos for the next few days. I will see you guys later tonight and Friday. I worked last night. That's why I didn't have a video last night. So tonight and Friday night, I will have my live stream. And I will see you guys hopefully later tonight. Other than that, guys, thank you for joining me. Appreciate it.